Hello everyone, it's Joel 246 coming out of the shadows to play some Overwatch. I hope Muzelk is watching this because I have a lot of good ideas. I hope. I feel like they're really good ideas for the Mercy update. Yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, right off the bat, I'm not gonna choose Mercy because the one I'm going to be talking about / not talking about is Symmetra.
The true enemy of humanity
Symmetra
is disorder.
has, with her ult, a secondary ult, which you can change using Q. So once you have your ult, you can hit Q, you can either put down a teleport or a shield generator.
Hello there.
Now, the whole matter of what I think, like, I think it'd be a good idea to have this with Mercy, is to have either the res capability, the res everyone in a general vicinity, or have the Valkyrie thing, like I've seen before.
Death is an illusion.
The idea is that if you use one, you cannot use the other, and you cannot like store up. You can't. It's basically like Symmetra, except for the fact that while either one is working, it cannot like when you use the res. Like there's a 10-minute, no, not 10-minute, 10-second cooldown before you actually start getting the ability to speed up your ult, like get your ult. So,
yeah, man.
Oh,
The true enemy
apparently
of humanity is
someone else
disorder.
can hear me.
Yes, you're talking in game chat.
Yeah,
Guessing there's
man.
no chance we
Sorry.
can take care of this quietly, is there?
Okay,
guys-
love you, dude.
You guys okay with me recording?
Greetings.
Sure, man. It doesn't
Yeah,
really
man.
matter.
Restored.
And talking about the whole matter of the Mercy update, how they're gonna have the Valkyrie ult.
I feel like it's gonna be nerfed when it comes out.
I really hope they give the whole idea of Symmetra, the Symmetra ult, how it has an alternate ult
Would
to
you
it,
like the sponge or the spray?
where you could have the teleport or the shield generator. So they could do that with Mercy. They could have the Valkyrie or the
No, I don't
Res.
think it's gonna happen because Jeff Kaplan said himself that he doesn't like the way Mercy players play on competitive, and Quick play mostly competitive.
But like, what I mean by they could have the same thing as Symmetra is the Valkyrie thing allows them to actually be in battle. So they don't just have to wait for res, because right now with res, that's the only ult they have. They don't have any fighting ults. If they had the fighting ult, they would have more to do in the battle. And if no one else is, like, most of the team is there and no one has, like, the whole team hasn't died, you'd be good to use the Valkyrie. Oh.
Our fates are in trial. Turret in place.
So that way you can help out your team while you are waiting. But at the same time, you wouldn't be able to use the res until you get it back. Until you're able
I will
to
follow
actually
my
start powering up your ult again. And the same with the thing of when she uses her res instead of Valkyrie. There's a 10-second cooldown.
Fences in place.
So that way, you can't immediately after start powering up your ult to get Valkyrie. You have to wait 10 seconds before you can start powering up your ult.
A momentary lapse.
To me, that sounds like a really good idea.
It's high noon.
Heroes never die.
You have my back.
Intruder detected. Teleporter online. We move swiftly. My sentry was destroyed. Aligned.
My ultimate is charged.
So, also it just adds another character that has the ability to have a secondary power. It just feels more right. Because at this right moment, Symmetra is the only one that has the alternate ult capability.
Well, that's because Symmetra's all you can't really do much with it.
I know, but to me it would make it more interesting, and it would also allow for like a sort of a balance.
There is still much to be done.
Because if your whole team is dead and you're Mercy and you're the only one at
My power
At-
grows.
the checkpoint or at the cargo, the
I'm ready to resurrect you.
luggage or whatever it's called, forgotten. Payload. If you're Mercy and you're all alone and you're just there with your ult and you have Valkyrie but you don't have the res capability and you're the only one there, you're gonna end up dying really easily because everyone's gonna be directing straight at you and no one else. There'll be no other distractions when you do Valkyrie.
Placed.
That's why there's the Symmetra ultimate, the teleporter.
But at the same time, I've seen teams that don't have Symmetra at all.
That's the point of the game. Different heroes, different combinations, different play styles, different tactics.
Turret in place. Enemigo detectado. My sentry was destroyed. Alignment This will protect you. Sentry turret placed.
This will protect us.
Turret in place. Photon barrier deployed. Creating a barrier. I am ready to revive. Sentry deployed.
Graviton Surge is ready.
Instancing photon barrier.
Enemies on my radar.
Heroes never die. My sentry was destroyed. Sentry turret placed. Ejecting barrier. All according to plan. Turret deployed. Enemy seen. Creating a barrier.
I think we got a pretty good defense.
Let's go to that altar. Instancing photon barrier. From light into dark.
Almost ready.
My ult.
60 seconds remaining.
I will shield you. Turret in place. Projecting barrier.
Meteor strike!
Fences are weakened.
We're doing great.
Heroes never die.
I calculate our victory is imminent.
Enemies detected!
Science will.
10 seconds remaining.
Know your place. This will protect you. Turret was destroyed.
Another thing too that they can add to Mercy is maybe healing pods, sort of like Ana, but more
Play
like
of the game.
stationary ones. It's really hard to describe what I'm thinking. It is really hard.
Double kill. Epic.
Excellent.
So, from them, it sounds like, oh yeah, he's already decided. I really hope he changes his mind and thinks, like, sees this video and actually takes a little thought from it, like a little inspiration from it, because my thought is that, but also at the same time, there's extra stuff that I want to add, like I was saying with the transport, like you could, it's like a healing pod, except it's only for one person. You put it on someone on your team, sort of like Zenyatta. It's meant to heal you and only heal you, and it's really hard to explain that one. But the whole being able to hit Q to do an alternate alt would be a really good idea, because then at the same time they have to worry about if they use the Valkyrie, they have to realize it has to be at a good time. If they do Valkyrie at the wrong time, they can mess things up and half their team is already dead. For the res, you also have to know that if you res too little of amount of people, it can be really, really hard. Oh, that's what okay, the whole matter of the portable healer pod. What if it was a one res, sort of like a pod res? So you stick it on someone, and if they die, they're resed. But at the same time, that would slow down your ult. When you're trying to power up your ult, it would slow down your ult. So if you have that on someone, your ult won't go up until that person has died. Get my drift? So like it's blocking your ability from getting the res or Valkyrie. It'd be a really good idea, because then you have to also worry about, oh, I can't get my Valkyrie or my res unless that person dies. At the same time, you're healing a lot of people, trying to keep them alive. So the person that you give the res pod to, you probably won't heal as much, but at the same time, if you do, it causes you to have to wait longer. So the whole idea of that is it's like a combo. One cancels out the other, but at the same time they're both equal. Just a little thought there. So hopefully Muzel sees this, and hopefully the creator, like they said. Future me. Cut to when they said his name.
Because Jeff Kaplan.
This is the one problem. I'm not good with names. Not good unless I've just seen them. Well, just seen their name. Or unsubscribed to them. I hope you take inspiration from this. And Muzelk, I hope if you do see this, if you could show the creators this as a little thought. I might actually create a picture and put it up on the screen after this video, so that way they get a little thought process into what I'm thinking. Because I really hope they keep the res situation, because I don't want to like go around all the game and just have Valkyrie in the whole res situation, because then I would have to pick people the res, and a lot of people would get pissed off because they're not being picked, and so few of them are being picked because they have to constantly be worried about not dying, having the res scenario. The whole res scenario is a 20-second cooldown, which is what I saw on a lot of people's playthroughs when they're in the, what was it called? The other version of this, the test Overwatch, the test Overwatch. In that, I've seen the fact that the res scenario is a 20-second cooldown, and it's for only one person. One person. So that also allows the whole matter of the res pod that you throw on one person and one person alone. It works just like that, but at the same time, it stops your ult from doing anything. So the whole switch, you can have an alternate ult, would work in unison with that. It cancels each other's. I'm going in circles. I am going in circles, but please, a lot of us actually depend upon the res feature, the all res feature, in a lot of mini games that people have made, and the fact that that's gonna get taken out prevents people from using Mercy in any of the games that are gonna show up, like, for instance, boxing Mercies. You get hit once, you're dead. And then the person that hit you gets their ult immediately. Well, what happens if that person dies and their ult, the person that gets their ult, what happens? It's you don't have a res anymore. You have Valkyrie, which doesn't do much in the department of that game. Many games will be like taken apart, and they'll have to they'll have to find different games, which to me, everyone else that put their time and effort into making that version of a game would feel really, really like left out, because what happened to them is their game has been destroyed. They can't play their game anymore. It's been broken. So please, I hope the creators and Muzel watch this and react to this, because just thinking about nothing more than I know the creators are probably thinking about the gamers in all, but they're also trying to figure out a way to make it more equal, as well as a matter of making people not sit around during competitive play. I mean, I don't sit around when I'm Mercy. When I'm competitive playing, I do not sit around. If I have my ult, I'm still fighting. I don't care if I die. If I die, I die. Then I just have to get back faster. That's just the way it is. And if my whole team is dead and I'm almost there, and I have my res ability, I'm gonna be able to res my whole team to try and fight back. The Valkyrie thing doesn't work unless if you're in a group, because then you can go around attacking people and fighting them off. But if you're near the end of your Valkyrie and all your team is dead, you're the last one. You're the last line of defense, and you can't do anything about it. You permanently die. You can't res anyone. So that's my thought process on that. To me, I have played Mercy in attack version. I'm a very fighting Mercy. I fight, I defend, I try and protect my team. If one of my teammates is low health and a Junkrat that's chasing him is low health, I will headshot him as much as possible to get him down, and then heal my friend after. Or, if I have to, I'll heal them before shooting them, but I will shoot them nonetheless. The people in competitive that are mercies don't realize that the gun is actually almost as powerful as a Widowmaker gun. A sniping Widowmaker gun at that. You just have to be a good aim. Just like Widowmaker, you have to be a good aim in order to actually do damage. So, what I'm saying is, don't take away the area res. The area res that really helps in a time of need. If I can only res 2 to 3 people at once using the Valkyrie ult, well, not at once, but in unison, in that stagnant point in time, I could be killed. I can be killed. I know the health with Valkyrie helps, but at the same time, if you're the last one alive, everyone's targeting you. Your health is gonna go down really fast. So please don't take away the res. It destroys people's games that they create, and it also ruins the well, not pro, but I feel like I use Mercy to the fullest, as much as I possibly can. And I don't want that res ability to go away. I don't want it to end up being one person at a time, because then I have to deal with people on my tail chasing me around, not knowing where I have to go to res the next person. I'm in a panic. With the res area, I'm able to res at least 2 to 3 people in my vicinity without having to worry about finding them. If I see a number pop up that says 3 people, I can res 3 people, I'm gonna do it. But if I can only res 1 at a time and I have to find all the others in the middle of battle, it's nearly impossible. Nearly. The pros might be able to do that, but for us lower end gamers like me, that would be a very difficult task. And it would sort of just ruin the fun for people that actually do play Mercy seriously and play her on the offensive. If people sit around with Mercy for too short of a time, like you could actually build that into the game. Mercies that sit still for too long get kicked because they're not doing their job. They're not healing, they're not fighting back. They're not using their gun. If they're just standing still, they should be kicked because they're not doing their job. To me, that's what I feel. And if you guys take away the res area scenario, what am I supposed to do? I'm gonna have to learn Mercy all over again. And to tell you the truth, the whole matter of adding another ability and taking away the other hurts me even more because I will have to learn to deal with Outres and to deal with Valkyrie. It's a really good idea. Valkyrie is a really cool idea because it allows me to also do the offensive when no one's dead. But if my whole team is dead, I don't want to use Valkyrie. There's no use in it. You can res like a few people, but if the whole red team is versing the blue team and you only have like 3 people up, you're not gonna hold for long. And to me, I mean, I know that's why you guys created Symmetra, so people can get to the area they need to fast with a teleport. At the same time, if there's no Symmetra, or the Symmetra put down a shield generator, what am I supposed to do? I'm gonna end up dying over and over and over as Mercy alone. So please take my idea into consideration. It's a really good idea to have the whole res pod and the alternate alt. Please think it through. And that will end my rant because I'm pretty sure this is like my longest video with nothing more than me talking. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy, use your tail to whack that like button, subscribe to me if you haven't already, be much appreciated, love a lot, and thank you all for enjoying. Have a nice day. Okay, for res alt, which is Q, like normal. When you use the res alt, you cannot use Valkyrie alt for 10 seconds. After the 10 seconds, you are able to build up your alt, but you have to wait 15 seconds before being able to use res pod. Moving on to the next one, Valkyrie alt, which is Q as well. You can switch between res alt and Valkyrie alt using Q, just like Symmetra's alts. When you use Valkyrie alt, the Valkyrie alt, you cannot use res alt or res pod for the duration of the alt. After Valkyrie alt has worn off, you are able to build up your alt, but you have to wait 5 seconds before being able to use res pod. Moving on to res pod, the new item I think might come in handy. E or shift. When you use the res pod, you cannot use res alt or Valkyrie alt for as long as the res pod is active. It is no longer active when the player that has been selected by Mercy has died or when the res pod is destroyed, shot off the back, so you can sneak up and shoot it off their back by destroying. Once used or destroyed, you are able to build up your alt, and you have to wait 20 seconds before being able to use the res pod again. Plus, you cannot use res pod when your alt is above 50% or higher. As you can see there, I have a demonstration on what I mean by 50%. Anyways, that will conclude that.